Hey friends, Sean from Draft Therapy here, and on today's review, for you to infinity and beyond. Copperstar Galactica is a 6.6% fruit IPA from Beards Brewery in Charlevoix, Michigan. Following the trend for the channel lately, this is yet another first timer on the channel, and this go-around is Beards Brewery. Obviously not hating on the name. That should be very clear to most of you. Now the label on this one says that the brew pub's in Petoskey, but this is from Beards in Charlevoix. I'm only slightly confused about how that all works with Beards. It's kind of par for the course with me, so speaking of the label, let's get a look at this one and get the beer into a glass. Fun fact, paganophobia, say that 5 times fast, is the fear of beards, and I clearly do not have this affliction. So let's take a look at the label here. Picking it up, it has the thing that really caught my eye with this label, I think they put it out last year initially, was this really colorful, 80s kind of inspired, to me it looked a little 80s, inspired colors at least. It's got a bright yellow label with a lot of these, has Orion, the constellation in the background, has some ships, some starships, has the Beard logo, which is looks like it's made of kind of hops, and it says Beards Brewery, Copperstar Galactica. It has like a spaceman. I'm thinking it's probably something from Battlestar Galactica, kicking what looks to be like a Cylon on the side. It says it's a seasonal release, and the spaceman, or maybe it's Starbuck, whoever it is carrying a case full of hops. It says, "MI Local Hops in Williamsburg, Michigan." Then on the back, it says, "Passionate about craft. Visit our pub in Petoskey, Michigan." And that's where I'm talking about the Petoskey part coming in. It says Beards Brewery with their logo. Copperstar Galactica, a fruit India Pale Ale, an astronomical ale fit for the Space Force Admiral. It straddles multiverses. Fruity but not sweet, hoppy but not bitter, with aromas of fruit punch and pomegranate, made with Michigan copper hops from MI Local Hops in Williamsburg, Michigan, in an Orion arm of the Milky Way galaxy. Pairs well with freeze-dried ice cream, tang, and Cylon kebabs. Again, carefully crafted by Beards Brewery LLC in Charlevoix, Michigan, and their website, beardsbrewery.com, which you can find in the description below this video. Yeah, but I think that all the can design on this is really cool. It's got a really flashy, it really kind of catches your eye. I don't think this matches a lot of their other branding, but you know, I still think it's pretty nice nonetheless. There is a number on the bottom here, but I don't think this is a date. If it is, it looks like it's early May of 19. I picked this up when I went to Mackinac just about a month ago, so I've been kind of sitting on it for a while, but it's been refrigerated the whole time. Hopefully, this is about 3 months. It's August 4th I'm recording this. It's about 3 months, so I'm reaching probably right near the end of its lifespan. All the hops are going to start really probably falling off if this is from May. So hopefully this is still going to be representative, and we're going to go ahead and crack this open. And always a nice satisfying crack. Let's get a nose out of the can like I do. It's got a bit of a kind of a citrusy, fruit punchy. It does have a bit of a fruit punchy kind of aroma. Maybe a tiny bit of dankness. Again, dankness is kind of subjective, but I usually think of it as kind of being a little bit odorous, like a little bit of almost kind of sweaty, earthy kind of smells. But actually getting a lot of, it smells like really fruity. I'm getting a lot of citrus. Oh, and then also on the can here, it does say astronomical, fruity, and hoppy. So let's go ahead and pour this. That is a lot darker than I was expecting to see it just out of the can. It is almost a copper, orangish, red, brown color right out of the can and collecting in the glass. We'll let it settle here for a minute. As you can see, I wasn't super aggressive on the pour, but I am getting about 3 fingers worth of head. You'll be able to see a really good example of that on the overhead, and I wish I could get a good close-up here of the glass, a little bit closer of a close-up, you know, if that was possible. But what I'm getting here on the bottom of this glass is a huge stream of carbonation coming up out of the graduated part of this glass and holding it up to the light. That is very hazy on the top, very dark. Like I said, it's a copper, almost like a tomato juice, a little bit thinner, obviously, but it's really reminiscent of that color to me. And again, this glass is perfectly designed, so you can see a lot of that streaming carbonation coming up from the bottom. And that head, I will go back to the overhead for just a quick second. That head is still sticking around. It's not budging. So that's a really good sign. It's very thick. The head is very porous at this point. There's a lot of larger bubbles, but the top is very compact. Let's put a better nose out of the glass here. And those fruit aromas are really bursting now. It says, it does say fruit punch, and I'm really getting a really strong fruit punch aroma out of this. That dankness is kind of like dissipated. I'm getting just a lot of kind of fruity, citrusy, fruit punchy kind of aromas. Again, the can kind of warns you that it's not going to taste, it's going to taste a little fruity, but not overly fruity. I would just, from the smell of it alone, I would think that's going to be really a very fruity flavor. But let's go ahead and dive in. So cheers. Wow. So even on the taste, the aroma, I was picking up a lot of fruit punchy kind of aromas, but I'm actually getting a little bit of a fruit punchy kind of flavor in there as well. It's got a lot of kind of sweetness going on in there. It's got a hoppiness to it, but they're not overly bitter. It's very smooth. So I'm going to get another taste. Now it's fruity, fruit punchy, like they say. Sometimes they, you know, on the labels, you'll read something and then you taste the beer and it's totally different. It doesn't taste like anything like it says on the can or on the label, on the bottle, whatever. And you get disappointed. This says that it's going to be fruity, fruit punchy, but not too sweet. And it does have a sweetness in there. It's got this really strong fruit punchy flavor, and a little bit of a bitterness to it as well. But it's not, it lingers throughout the entire taste, but it doesn't overpower, and it's not sweet. It doesn't taste like fruit juice. It doesn't taste like a juicy IPA. But that fruit sweetness is there throughout the entire flavor, throughout the entire taste. And it's not bitter. Like, I'm not getting a lot of bitterness. The bitterness that I'm getting is after the swallow, on the aftertaste. So that fruit punchiness kind of hits in the flavor department. It's fruity. It's not overly sweet, but it does have a sweetness to it. But then there's this this kind of maltiness in there that kind of hangs out, which is really nice as well. It kind of adds to that sweetness. And then that's when this like really slight earthy and citrusy kind of bitter hoppiness comes through for me. And then the aftertaste, the underlying aftertaste, is that fruit punchiness, that kind of sweet, fruity flavor that I was getting at the beginning. That's just a really good beer. It's not, again, it's just not overly fruity. It's an IPA for sure, but it's one, you know, it's not super high ABV. I think I said it was 6.6%, which again, pet peeve. It doesn't say that on the label here anywhere. I had to look that up, and that's always kind of a thing for me. Is I like to know what the ABV is when I'm drinking it. I don't like to have to look it up to find that out. And a lot of times you'll find if you go to like Beer Advocate or Untapped, and you look them up, the ABV is usually not, it's not usually, but it's not always correct. And that's kind of like, I'd like to know what it is. But the flavor is really nice in there. It hangs in there. It's got a nice flavor. I'm really regretting at this point that I sat on this for a month to try it, because, and I'm wondering if I would have had it fresher, if it would have been a little bit more bitter, a little bit more hoppy, or a little bit more IPA-like. It is definitely an IPA. That's, you know, no doubt about that. But it doesn't have all those characteristics. It's not, it's almost like a Midwest kind of IPA where you get a little bit of that maltiness. The bitterness is in there. It's on the finish. And it has this dryness that kind of accompanies that finish. So all around, the package is really nice. This is one that's super crushable. I could find myself, you know, 6.6%, again, not high ABV, but I could find myself drinking this and not, you know, not having to worry too much. I could probably have 2 or 3. But yeah, this is super crushable, and you could get yourself into some deep water if you don't pay attention, if you've had a few. Comes in a 6-pack. I'm not sure what I paid for it, because again, it's been a little while ago. I don't know if I even kept the receipt, but this is a tasty beer from Beards, and I'll be looking forward to more stuff from Beards in the future, just to see, you know, if it kind of lives up to this kind of standard that Copperstar Britannica has laid out. All right, friends, that has been Copperstar Galactica from Beards Brewery. I don't know if I said that before, if I totally screwed it up, but you get the point. Have you had this one? Do you have a favorite from Beards that I need to try? Let me know in the comments down below. And while you're down there, If you like beer, you might want to subscribe and click that bell because I'm here talking about beer. Now, it's mostly Michigan beer, but it is twice a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And guess what? It's all free for viewers just like you. And you might miss your newest favorite if you're not subscribed and getting those notifications. Also, I want to start incorporating your questions. I've been saying that for a little bit now. I want to incorporate your questions into these episodes so you can leave any questions, any comments, anything you want to say, text, voicemail, whatever, at the Draft Therapy hotline at 224-DRAFT-20. Also, there's a Discord link below this video where you can join with a few other, like-minded beer, loving individuals just like yourself. You can join in the conversation. I'm there like almost all the time with a few other beer YouTube people. And you can, there's always some kind of conversation, either beer or otherwise, going on all the time. So you can check us out there. So until next time, I'm Sean from Draft Therapy. Thanks for stopping by. And remember, drink craft beer, support your local breweries wherever they are. And most importantly, don't forget to treat yourself to a little draft therapy. Thanks for watching. Cheers.